Hi, everyone. It's Roland Kym here from the Kimbuna team and MoveToVancouver.com, licensed with Keller Williams Van Central Ocean. Today, we're going to talk to you about the BC home flipping tax. It's in effect. It's not a lot of fun to talk about taxes. I know how you feel, but it's a real thing. So for those of you that are considering selling a property fairly quickly in BC, make sure that it does not come under the home flipping tax unless you're prepared for it. So let's talk a little bit more about what is the BC home flipping tax. This tax applies to profit earned from selling a property in British Columbia, including pre-sale contracts, if the property was owned for less than 730 days. An example of how it works is in the video ahead. So let's get into it. So what is the BC home flipping tax? The BC home flipping tax applies to profit earned again from selling a property, including pre-sale contracts. That's really key. If the property was owned for less than 730 days. It's separate and distinct from the federal property flipping rules, and it's not harmonized or administered with the federal or BC income tax. It's a brand new tax. The BC home flipping tax returns are due 90 days after a sale is accomplished. So let's talk about what that is. Let's say you sold a property after January 1st, 2025 and owned it for less than 730 days. The tax applies unless an exemption applies. The way it applies is the profit earned from the sale will be subject to the flipping tax if the seller of the property, the seller of the property may be a BC resident or resident anywhere else in the world. Your residency is not dictating whether this applies or whether you're exempt. What types of properties does it include? It includes properties with a housing unit on it. It includes properties zoned for residential use and the right to acquire the above property. So let's talk about an example. Let's say you purchased a property, but be it a pre-sale or a resale, on May 1st, 2023, and you sold it January 31st, 2025. So that was less than 730 days. Therefore, any profit earned is subject to the flipping tax. Example number 2, you purchased a property May 1st, 2023. You sold it June 1st, 2025. Makes it more than 730 days, and therefore, profit is not subject to the flipping tax. So you may not need to pay the tax if you're eligible for an exemption, exempt only after you file a return regardless. Exemptions could include life circumstances. If you're a builder or developer and the property is bought and sold for building and renovation activities, or sales between related parties. Now, go see the website for more specific information, examples of exemptions. Make sure you speak to your accountant and your lawyer before assuming that you are exempt. Go check it out to make sure that you know. Filing a return. You need to file your BC home flipping tax return and pay any amounts owing no later than 90 days after the property is sold. You're still required to file a return even if your profit is zero, or if you are eligible for an exemption that requires a return. Filing a return. You do not need to file a return if one of the following applies. You sold your property after owning it for more than 729 days. You qualify for an exemption that exempts you from needing to file. Mind you, many exemptions still require you to file. Or you're a developer and you are initially entered into an agreement which establishes a right to acquire a property. For example, a pre-sale agreement with an initial purchaser. So if you have any questions, go check out government.bc.ca, home flipping tax. I hope there was some value there, and make sure you seek out the professional advice you need. All things real estate in the greater Metro Vancouver area. If I can be of help, I'd love to be in that role. Give me a call. Take care.